Hi, y'all. It is Friday, and it is, well, we're almost finished with June, right? It's the total end of June. I'm only jumping on here for a really quick minute because I want to shake some things up. I'm never going to be remembered as someone who doesn't shake things up. I'm not going to name any names. That's not my style. You know who you are. I am going to give you enough information about a past situation, and those of you that have the ability to look further into it, go ahead. I'm going to paint you a picture. Sicily, night, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I am going to paint you a picture. 1993, white suburbia. Let's realistically. I'm pretty sure there were whiter schools, but I didn't want to know where they were. So this was high school. Let's go to Spirit Week. I went to a different school after this. I didn't graduate with everybody. I left and went somewhere else. I'm going to give you one of the many reasons why right now. So we had a Spirit Week, and there was a lip syncing battle. And 5 entitled white boys dressed in blackface. They crudely painted their face and their necks and their hands. Oh, God. They crudely cut out afros out of styrofoam and crudely painted them black. And then they performed the Jackson 5 to a cheering crowd. And if you happen to have this yearbook kicking around 1992, 93, and you want to take a picture or take a gander at page 30, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe a lot of you don't know that this lovely gem of a picture is always going to be there. Can't really get erased. It's in books. So, and you wonder why I fight every day. None of these people acknowledge that this was wrong. It's never been brought up. It's never been apologized for. It's been years, and it's like, meh. I know some of you have totally forgotten it because it didn't scar you. But I, at that moment, would have loved to known about the Harry Potter invisibility cloak, because I would have used it up in there that day. Or any sort of invisible potion or whatever. Because if I could have rolled into a ball without bones and slithered under a door and I did get out of there, but not fast enough as far as my psyche is concerned. So, and this is all I'm going to leave you with, because I want to go outside and I want to get some vitamin D. I need some vitamin D. I'm going to leave you with this little piece of information. This is what bothers me the most about that. It isn't the gross racial aggression that happened. It isn't the systematic racism, although it is those things. But what really kills me is that there were 5 sets of parents that agreed to this. 5 sets of parents in the same community all agreed that that was okay to do. They encouraged them, they purchased items for them, and they lent them 70s clothes to wear from their closets, I'm sure. I'm assuming that portion, but let's get real, that's what happened. 5. Then there was a whole entire staff of educators that also loved this idea and got on board with it and cheered and clapped and thought it was a great idea. And then there was a group of administration that also agreed this was a good idea. Then there was yearbook adults and a yearbook committee that all thought it was such a wonderful idea that they should put it in the yearbook so that we can look back on it fondly and Shauna can hyperventilate. So thank you very much. It doesn't affect you like it affects me. I totally get it. But I'm just going to leave you with this question, because I'm curious. I know how I feel about this, and I know that the people that are in this picture and their families, I'm going to have to say that I don't think anyone's learned anything. I don't think anyone has educated themselves on systematic racism. I don't think anyone in their 40s sits and goes, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's somebody that does, but I doubt it. So nothing was really learned from that. Nobody learned anything from that. The teachers went on to keep teaching and get promoted, and some of them are still in the game. And did they ever sit back and go, wow, that was a really poor choice. I should have stood up against that. I have to be brutally honest and tell you I didn't do anything about it. I should have said something, but I just looked around and there was just nobody that I felt like I could, like, everybody's cheering for these doofuses. What the heck? I don't know. But on that note, I know some of you are searching for your yearbook right now. If somebody tells you that this event is something that they remember in high school and it hurt them very much, please do not disregard their feelings. Never, ever disregard the feelings of someone who comes to you and trusts you with telling you a racial incident that happened to them, and they want to just try to work through it by speaking to someone. So I've had that happen to me constantly. It literally just happened to me a couple of months before the pandemic. And it's never not, like, it's always a white person that does that to me. Oh, I don't think that they were being racist. And that didn't seem racial. Why are you even commenting? How would you know? How? Why open your mouth and speak? Yesterday, my husband had some guy say to him, well, there's no black racism here. That's an American thing. I mean, yeah, there were slaves here, but we weren't Canada then. Of course, it was a white guy. And my husband's like, so how do you know? Do you study this? And that's kind of my way of helping people deal with this. If you have somebody like that, literally legit turn right around and say, oh, really? It isn't? Oh, great. Okay, so can you meet with me in about 30 minutes with all of your information that backs up your claim? Because I know you being white, you really would know totally what you're talking about and probably have like a whole bunch of research material to prove your theory. So whenever you want to get together and tell me how it isn't a problem here from your perspective, and then roll your eyes, because that's not happening. Things are getting real, people. It's a revolution. They're never pretty. I've said this to you before. A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork, just like with Me Too. We're finding some things out about some famous people that we didn't want to know. And it's going to keep going, and it's going to keep going, and on and on and on and on and so forth. And this blackface picture of these 5 people, I mean, this is like the tip of the iceberg here, because you can't hide this stuff forever, right? You know that. Like, there's an actual picture of you in blackface in the yearbook. I'd sort myself out. Sort yourself out. Have a conversation with your family. Have a conversation with your parents if you are lucky enough to have them around. Have a conversation with the people in your house about why you did that. And your thought, and maybe come to the terms that you're on that spectrum of racism, right? You're on it. Trust me, you're on it. You're on it, and most likely your family is on it because they thought that was a good idea. And You know who else was on it, right? Educators. That scares the hell out of me. Anyways, have a good Friday, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.